What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. So as we saw last time, the Empire failed in its last gambit, or possibly last gambit, as Karl Franz and Boris would try to take one of our herdstones and once again failed. Currently, by the looks of it, they have no armies, and our little temporary army is moving in to hopefully punish them for it. In addition to that, we've got about 2 turns left until Taurox completes his recruitment and continues finishing up the destruction of Kuran, which is one of our 3 remaining victory conditions. Destroy Reikland, destroy Kuran, and take the Oak of Ages for the long victory, and then the final battle, the Fall of Man quest battle, which we will do to end off the campaign. At least after we try out some of those god armies, or at least the other god armies that have not yet been tried. In terms of what we gotta do this particular turn, unless I'm mistaken, there's not really anything. We just gotta end it and then head to next turn and then start recruiting Pestigors. So that's what we're gonna do. End turn, and let's proceed. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but we shall see. I'm excited about those Pestigors getting into combat. Now that we do lack any giant units or anything of that nature to put into the Nurgle army at the current time, it would be nice to have some of those, but, well, not a big deal. It's the Pestigors and the Hounds of Pestilence that will do most of the work, no doubt, anyway. And hopefully if we can get a couple of Jabberslates, which do have poison and bile blood, it does make sense for the Nurgle army just as much as the Tzeentch army, I think. A little bit of a mix of the two. Anyway, Pestilence scheme completed for Skaven of some kind, and we don't really care. Alright, everybody's getting plagues. Research 8 technologies. Talisman of Preservation, Armor of Fortune, more nice items, and there we go. Chosen Pestigors are available. Rampage has ended. But that's just fine. We'll get a new one up and running shortly. And just got to continue that or complete that recruitment. I think that was the first time a rampage has ended by virtue of not moving. Sidhu. Pestigors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's going to take you a little bit of time to recruit this stuff, unfortunately. Just to double check. You can't recruit it faster via... no, those are chosen Korngors. It'll take 4 turns either way. Oh, and we have no access to global recruitment anyway, so it hardly matters. Now this maxes out in this particular army, and we'll replace these guys with a couple of monsters if we can find them. And by find, I mean build. And then maybe 2 giants and 2 Jabberslates? I assume that we still don't have access. Let me just see here. Still... Okay, wait. And don't have access to... At least 1 outpost must... Okay, oh, right, we're still constructing. And a couple of outposts. But there isn't really much. Festus isn't going to be providing anything useful to us. We have Scarby there, we have Village here. And you can move Korgoth Chaos Seeker, keep on finding other Chaos factions. But it's mostly the demonic that we're looking for. But by the looks of it, we probably won't be able to amass enough allegiance for our purposes for that. But anyway, Morgur, you, since Athalorn is a little bit far, we're gonna send you round to Kislev. I guess we have to figure out where we want to put a... We want to put a herdstone here. Now, Norden is under Salzenmund, and so is Rosefels, and frankly... If we destroy Furlongen rather, and then we can allow these guys to take it. I'm almost tempted to raise Furlongen and then allow these guys to occupy it. Or maybe take Castle Lancaster. Just to get them a little bit stronger. I mean, I guess we could declare war on the Ice Court first. And oh wow, they have 25 settlements, strength rank 2. Oh my, what are we getting Morgur into? The toughest of the enemies here. Interesting. And we can ask Gazak. Oh wait, no, we can't ask Gazak to join the war, which means we'll just attack. Fair enough. Works for me. Declare war, call your allies to help, don't bother. Urson Revivalists are still alive as well. Well, isn't that impressive? Ah, well, I guess this is... yeah, you don't expect them to die nearly as much in this as you would in Immortal Empires. Now, we probably have no purpose of building a herdstone here, so we could just raise this place, hopefully. Damage won't be too much. Now it's fine. And then we will loot and raise, or raise in advance. I gotta go with loot and raise. And stop moving. There you go. Gambler's armor for free, and can't sail out for that mysterious island, so we'll just go into raiding stance and keep on moving. Alright, let's move to Castle von Rauken, and ooh, would you look at that? It's under siege with 0 turns remaining till surrender. What the heck is going on? I think it's just bugged, because clearly there's stuff, so we can attack these guys and then destroy the forces at Castle von Rauken as well. Why not? Kazrak, you've got to finish off Vlad's faction. This guy's just gonna hang around here. He's gonna take Schwarzhofen back, isn't he? Oh well. We would like to stop him. Well, let's move to Hornau, wherein we will have no defenders, and wherein we will get a new Herdstone up and running. And, oh, I don't kill our chariots? Fantastic. They'll be more damaged, but what can you do? Raise Herdstone. Alright, and then we can't pop the ritual yet, so we just need to destroy Schramleben, and that'll be good. We can also immediately build up the shamanic challenges and the Winds of Malady as we've been doing. I should really let you heal more. Wait. 60 and 2 as compared to 60 and 2 still. Okay, so it's the same either way, but at least this way we get a little bit more of the bestial rage. And actually, you're healing up quite nicely. The wargors everywhere are really, they're really quite helpful, aren't they? Anyway, new tech will be Korngors, and then we have the Slangors last. We do need to build the Slangor building, though, which I believe is here in Bokel. Yes, chosen Slangor 6,000, that's all of our money, but at least we have all of them up and running now. And, should be able to upgrade our Herdstones to the final level shortly. Anyway, Taurox, you sit where you are for now. Malagor, you're heading into Scabreach, or Scabreach, it doesn't matter. And, ooh, we've actually got defenders and a decent amount of them at that. That, by the looks of it, is a worthy fight for Malagor. Did I say Morgar? Worthy fight for him indeed. Speaking of worthy fights, we got Wulfrik nearby and in march stance, foolishly enough. Looks like he's going to suffer the wrath of the magical arrows of the chosen Sangors again. Well, him not again, but someone again. Alright, do we need anything here? Bestial Butchers does not help this army, and I believe Creatures of the Herd doesn't apply to throwing weapon Centigors, so yeah, it doesn't. Meaning, you can ignore the red tree and start moving through either this tree. You could get Voice of the Dark Gods to get a little bit of the leadership aura. And spell resistance. Let's go Primeval Rage for now. I think the other stuff's not that concerning. Let's head out and destroy Wulfrik again, hopefully. Hopefully his army isn't going to be strong enough to defeat this one, but we shall see. Ooh, well, the ambush is gonna hurt. Ooh, the trolls are going to be a potential issue, though. Could be an interesting time. Instead, in fact, should be an interesting time. Away we go. Alright, no speech, no speech. Here we go, and Wulfrik just took a massive barrage. Can't even see his model under the arrows of 3 of those chosen Sangors, taking away about 25% of his HP. He does have 30% missile resistance, so that explains some of the lack of damage. And oh, he's got 20 kills by virtue of using his ability to move through the Sangors, though their barrier completely protected them from it. Some of the Ungor raiders did fall. Now we are deployed along the entirety of Wulfrik's column with all of our units firing at the same time. We do have to try to focus down a few of those feral manticores and before they drop down upon us. Of course, this army does lack those Cygors that we want, so we're using the Razorgore herds in place of them for now. Wulfrik about to take a second volley, and by the looks of it, it's going to hurt probably a little bit more as he's down to just a little bit and below below half HP. Anyway, this is an ambush and it's gonna go fast. We have a very nice position as well, and we're going to charge Wulfrik for a few seconds to try to stop him in his place. But by the looks of it, it wasn't needed as he goes down. The rest of his forces have not yet gotten to our battle lines, but are beginning to reach them. A few of our Tsangors will be engaged, and we did manage to stop one of the enemy Manticores with the Warp Eye from the Eye of Morsleep, while the other one got destroyed before it was able to land, but the third one did manage to get in there. That said, it dropped down upon some Ungors, which we actually put ahead of the rest of the Tsangors up on this hill so that they would be distracting the same said Manticore. Looks like our Razorgors are still doing good, blocking off that massive pile of trolls, although due to their extremely low leadership, wow, look at these guys. They're broken. They've taken literally no damage. Look at this. 0 damage done to them whatsoever. 11,000 HP out of 11,000 HP. And on top of that, they, well, obviously didn't lose any models. And that's the problem with trolls. That's 5 units that just straight up routed. We've encountered this ourselves with the with Grimgore's campaign, with the troll army there. And yeah, you need something to buff up their leadership, or else that will happen. On the bright side, that does work out fairly well for us, as those units are not distracting us, while our Ungor Raiders and our Tsangors continue to do their work. Chosen Tsangors facing off against some Berserkers here, although it looks like the Berserkers are out of here now. And then we can switch it back to bow work immediately. Alright. I'm surprised how effective this army turned out to be before it's even anywhere near being complete, as in we still need more Cygors. We don't even have our throwing axe cav as yet, but by the looks of it, it'll function without just fine. It'll only get stronger from here. A nice little volley of arrows. It looks like the trolls have returned. I mean, damn well they should, considering they routed with so much HP remaining. But they allowed us plenty of time to damage other units. The last Manticore that had landed is now down. Looks like another one's coming back. We should be able to knock it out of the sky. And it looks like a lot of the trolls are routing again. Ah, Wulfrik. Was a mistake to build so many trolls. Perhaps he was thinking that with them here they would be able to deal with our range army. But it didn't quite work out. Anyway, more enemy units are trying to run away now, but they are getting shot in the back as they do, and they won't rally until we stop shooting them, which, at least on that side of the battlefield, we won't, and I guess it doesn't even matter, as the last of the enemy will rout, and the entire army will shatter. 1, 2, 3... 3 to 4 of the troll units were basically completely unharmed as well. And it just took a few hits and shattered with the rest of their army. And I suppose with Wulfrik's fall and army losses, it does make sense, plus whatever leadership debuffs we had going on them. Anyway, another heroic victory, and I am once again proud of our Tzeentchen ranged army. Alright, very, very nice. You know, once again, this army has been a lot more effective than I was expecting it to be. Several times. Now, of course, the enemy was in ambush, was ambushed while in march stance, so that's pretty much as bad as it can possibly be. But nonetheless, all those trolls and all those manticores, which should have been fairly effective against this sort of setup that we've got going, weren't really all that effective at all. Speaking of not particularly effective, the Ungor Raiders did relatively little damage compared to most of the units of Chosen Tsangors, although a few of them did better than them, so yeah, probably the ones that were forced to fight in melee, as in the Chosen Tsangors that had to fight in melee, didn't obviously do as much damage. We got the money there, and we will continue onward to more stuff. And Clan Scryer is here, eh? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they're at war with anybody. Do we even have contact with Scryer? Just out of curiosity. Skaven, Scryer, yes we do. They are allied with Rapturous Exus and Eshin. Oh, they don't like us. They don't like us one bit. I guess the question here is going to be where we set up our next herdstone so that these guys can't colonize everything. So Montanas is currently in this one's blood ground, though we... Oh, it's full of Skaven, yes. Meaning, we don't have to overlap that. This is actually a pretty decent location, other than the fact that it misses Almagora. Almagora by itself gets basically nothing. Kinda not great, to be honest. You, move away a little bit, I just wanna... I can't see that far. Alright, hasten challenges again, then. I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter all that much, and we could challenge completed access challenges. Yeah, great. I guess we could do a small herdstone at Almagora, and then just do another one, because we pop rituals immediately anyway. Yeah, that works for me. You, sir, are going to move out as far as you can. Pass Kavea, take Almagora out, and... Wait, how close are we to destroying this faction in general? 6 territories. Oh, they had more than I thought. Well, they'll have less soon. Into raiding stands, please, to heal up a little bit more. And let's keep on moving. Lakshi Manseeker. Away you go. You're going to take your time to get to here. Although you, I think, can land at Altdorf. No need to move through the sea anymore. You are headed to the... to these armies, Rusuzu, Endbringer, you can land as well. You're going to the Cornate army to buff them up. Aberku, you are going to... Like, you know what, just... This should be auto-resolvable, right? I'm just gonna assume that it is. Go kill these rebels and then destroy Zutzen. There's a close victory. That's gonna hurt our garbage little army, but well, you know what can you do? It's not like we care about it. And then go into Ruination stance, and I think Besiege this is our only option, because it says Valiant Defeat, but if they attack us in the field, we can just use our heroes to destroy them. Even though it feels like a little bit of a waste of time, but obviously this isn't a real army, even though I'm still proud of them for what they've done so far. Transformation of Kadan won't help. Let's get Earthing, because it's just constant miscasting otherwise. And then let's keep moving. That's... not Ungrol the Wildheart, who will need to do things as well in a second. Malagor, you're gonna fight as soon as we're done. Now, we have 3 more Bulgors coming in. What we need you to do, sir, is to swap out and... Okay, let me just see. You take one of the Gorgons, leaving the other 3. You will take 2 of the Bulgors. You will transfer back 1, 2, 3 shielded Minotaurs, leaving you with 20, and leaving you ready to move out, unless I'm mistaken. 5 shielded Minotaurs, 2 the regular Minotaurs with axes, and then 4 Bulgors. And then 2 more of the Gorgons, which sadly don't have Vanguard deployment like the rest of the units do, but I guess they can bring up the rear together with the Gorbles, which don't have Vanguard deployment either. And that's just fine. You, sir, have places to be. Go into, I guess, regular stand. You just have to get to Kurun, which is fairly close. And go. You're no longer needed here, Taurox. 2 more turns until you move. Really too bad that this guy's gonna take 2 turns, but whatever. All good, Ungrol. And we're actually going to need to summon a new army here to transfer this stuff, which will have to be probably this Doom Bull to lead the Cornate forces, which means, oh man, we were so close to 3k too. I don't want to lose the Rotten Doom Bull, because it's a good, solid Doom Bull, though. With regen, he can certainly lead his herd well. But what can you do? Upgrades, let's purchase another army capacity +1, and we'll get that going when needed. But for now, Rotten. Even though I know Rotten is like Nurglish, but, you know. Let's just pretend it's some kind of blood-based Rotten. Alright, can't build anything, just had to double check everything, and then forgot what I was double checking. Alright, we're good, Malagor, you are ready to go. Let's level you up and let's head on in to fight those Skaven. 2 points on ya. And let's see. We could get the hero action reduction cost for Beret Shamans, which means more spell stealing, which ain't too bad. And Doom and Darkness we don't really care for or need right now, and I personally don't particularly care for Enfeebling Foe. We have Doom of Mankind. I guess we could just go for the other passives. Or wait, Greater Arcane Conduit will give us Spell Mastery when we need 5 points, which we don't have. We could get Savage Dominion. Not crazy expensive for you in particular, so let's do that. You know what, maybe we'll get Doom and Darkness after all. The leadership reduction forcing enemies to rout may not be that bad. Although, you know what, let's also get Bestial Surge, because you're constantly casting. And frankly, Smoke and Mirrors is a lot better in SFO than it was in Vanilla. But anyway, for now, let's keep on leveling everybody. You got Destruction. Let's get to you, Call to More Sleep, or continue moving through Call to More Sleep. You, sir. You have Retinue Physician. You can have Replenish Troops, so you have the stuff that is most necessary. But let's get your Bloodlust to be able to buff somebody up. And Pdefu. What were you missing? We could get Onslaught for the additional when attacking damage. Transformation of Kadan probably wouldn't cast it over Malagor. Let's get another point in Flock of Doom, because there are occasions where we cast it. And you know what, in case you need to fight, we can get you Many-Limbed Fiend. That looks good to me. That seems like that's all. Let's hit Scab Reach, and let's see if the game will allow us to do this cinematically or not, depending on how that gate looks. Alrighty, here we go again, facing off against all of the Skaven here now. Hopefully the enemy doesn't have somebody that can cast Howling Warp Gale, as that is the biggest threat to Malagor's army at the current time. Though this particular battle, or this particular map rather, is fairly decent for a ranged army, since we can go over this little mountain on the side. Malagor moves in and summons those Defiled Crows on top of one of the units of enemy Plague Claw catapults, while our Manticores and Harpies start moving towards the enemy settlement. The Manticores will lead, of course, as they are resistant enough to the enemy attacks to not immediately die like the Harpies might. And once we've engaged the enemy and gotten everybody into position, then we'll drop the Harpies down as well. Malagor, however, will be fighting together with his Manticores and his Defiled Crows under those Flocks of Doom and the debuff, or the Mortis Engine effect that Malagor himself causes. On top of that, we have our 3 giants in this army now, so it's gotten a little bit stronger in terms of melee, and with the Shatterstone ability, we break through the enemy wall, and the 3 giants are pretty good at establishing a beachhead for us. We still have that one little unit of Ungors in this army. They've been here forever, and are to be replaced by that Incarnate Elemental Beast if we ever end up teching towards it. But for now, it's going reasonably well. Giants, away you go. Plenty of rats for you to choose from, so get to work on them. Of course, we have our Gorbull here, and to try to help out. The Flocks of Doom are also basically non-stopping, because both Malagor and his minion caster can use the spell, and the fact that the enemy has blobbed up in 2 places means that we can keep dropping Flocks of Doom on both of them. There we go, another Flock of Doom coming down. It's non-stop, and it must be real annoying, and is also particularly effective against the Skaven. Over in the background, our Harpies are flying around. They disabled the crew of this Plague Claw catapult and destroyed a couple of units, some clan rats with shields, and I believe a couple of slingers or night runners of various kinds, and are now joining the Manticores and the rest of our units in the middle of this. Malagor's army is very interesting to see fight, but I do generally enjoy the flying armies, and the fact that various flying armies, depending on which faction you use, work really different from each other. Like this is really different from Tic-Tac-Toe's flying army, for example, and if you make a Cathian flying army, with the Sky Junks to act as artillery, and with Sky Lanterns to snipe a little bit because I hate them, and their flying cavalry. It looks really different from this by comparison, which keeps it nice and interesting. Anyway, Vile Tides continue to come down, both from Malagor and from his Gorbo friend. We also have our Wargor in the middle of the fight, providing some buffs for Malagor. And it looks like a second set of Defiled Crows will come down as well. One of our Manticores right in the middle of that vortex, while the rats get absolutely bodied. We have the balance of power down to about, let's say, 80% in our favor. One of our Manticores taking a little bit of hurt from one of the Gutter Runner Slingers, and the poison, I'm sure, is a little bit annoying, but otherwise the battle is very much going our way. Malagor's taken a few hits himself, though, as he did get surrounded briefly by one of the units of Clan Rats, and I think one of the units of Plague Monks, though they have since moved away, and we've sent a couple of the Manticores to back Malagor up as we destroyed the remnants of those Clan Rats. Up the ramp we go, and the melee units are moving in to join the fray as well. Our Beast Giants going to add their clubs to the matter. I like the Chaos Giants more personally, as, well, the Chaos Giants models a lot more. Those glowing eyes really, or that glowing eye, really adds something to their menace on the field. But we've gotten reasonable effectiveness out of the Beast Giants, or Beastmen Giants rather, in this campaign as well. Some Plague Monks still holding on, though it looks like the bounce power shifting to 95 plus in our favor. We'll still have to work through the Unbreakable Monks, but the battle is pretty much ours. Alright, it's all just a whirling, I don't know, Manticores, whirling dervishes of teeth and claws and wings and horns and other sharp appendages that kind of have tusky sort of teeth as well. Not good to be on a battlefield where you're a bunch of infantry and there's a bunch of these guys down among you, plus they're poisonous and fire damage dealing on top of that. Alright, just a few more monks to work through, though the balance of power is completely in our favor now. Our units of harpies were working in the background to chase a few enemy units off to make sure that they don't come back, but it doesn't matter anymore, as the battle, heroic victory, is ours. Very, very nice, Malagor. I mean, he is meant to be extremely effective. I mean, his army was built to be extremely effective at taking settlements, and damn well if he hasn't proved it time and time again. Alright, there we go. Very nice indeed, and a little bit of damage on a few of our units, but more importantly, Malagor, you are getting real scary, especially against those Skaven where you can spam Flocks of Doom and Penumbral Pendulum and whatnot. 1,457 kills and 174,000 damage. Pretty darn crazy. Especially compared to the rest of the army, though a few of the Manticores did very nicely as well, regardless of the inflation of the numbers due to fighting Skaven. 300 kills, not too bad for a Manticore. Very nice. Alrighty, we will loot and raise once again as we do, and 4.7k is certainly worth our time. Lovely. And no one will rise here again, and this faction should have been destroyed, but was not. World events. Huh. Hellfire Sword, Swell. Enemy killed in battle, Swell as well. Just out of curiosity, they don't have any more settlements, do they? Do you want to run into them? Skull, Septic, Gretnik, Eschen, Pestilence, Scryer. No, they're gone. It just didn't say anything. Okay, well then. So it just... Yeah, no, we're not at war with them. It just didn't say anything. All right, or maybe it did say something and I missed it and just clicked through it. Does happen once in a while. Anyway, Malagor, you are going to move away here from, or using beast paths, I guess, but go into raiding stance and move this way. And I guess you're going up to deal with Eshin and fight some more Skaven, since clearly you're pretty effective at that, and maybe a little bit in the way of fighting the vampirates while you're there. And these guys at Pina Wood, we haven't seen you fight wood elves yet, have we? Alright, some nice variety as we head towards the end of the campaign. Otherwise, it looks like we're good to go to end another turn, minus the low bestial rage on you, Aberku. Let's get that going, though it's going to harm the army, but well, what can you do? Building upgrades are relevant. We're starting the corn recruitment next turn, and we will... Is this their last settlement? Yes, indeed it is their last settlement. We should be able to destroy them next turn as well. Alright, and one more turn, though we won't have enough time to fight another battle. I just want to see if anything interesting happens here. Zutzen besieged. Oh, right. Oh, I wonder if they'll sally out. Yes, they'll sally out. You know what, I'll destroy them between the episodes. This is kind of a waste of time, and thus I think I will call the episode here. Next time we build up our pestilent Nurgle army and send it forth into combat, hopefully, and Taurox will re-up his rampage again, as he will be ready to go next turn. Anyway, more Taurox to come as we head towards the end of the campaign, and probably, I don't know, maybe 5 episodes left, something along those lines, at least I think. Unfortunately, the engagement and viewership for this one has dropped fairly significantly. 2 episodes ago it dropped by like 25%, and then last episode another 50%, which is pretty crazy. It probably does coincide with people watching Archaon instead, but still, alas, unfortunate. Oh, but it is what it is. We'll see it through to the end until the fall of man and the long victory condition. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.